Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of What the Field that we're filming here in the fields of Malaga. We're here with Maria from Finca Pepones today. Thank you so much for coming to speak with us.
Thank you for coming to this farm.
It's a beautiful place to be filming today, so we're really happy to be here. I think we'll start with a kind of a more philosophical question for you. What would you say it means for you to be a farmer?
Well, a farmer for me is like a way of life. It's like since I was born, I was at the field with my parents and my grandparents, and it's like I'm making all my life, but the center of all that I do, it's always my fields, and that it's like a reason of my life.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely. And are there any downsides or challenges? What would you say are some of the difficulties as well? Because I mean, obviously it's so amazing and so beautiful to come here and see all of this, but I imagine that there's some challenges as well.
Yes, it's like hard work because you can make everything the same or be changing, but can find some troubles that you can't resolve. Like right now, it's the rain, that we don't have a lot of rain, or something like a plague that you can't control, maybe, or things. And it's hard because you can't control everything, and that don't happen in other works. But at the end, it's like a beautiful work because you, at the end of the season, you have the fruits and you see all the work, and that's amazing. But you have to handle with all the troubles and knowing that one year can be amazing and another year
it's a different story.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like for some of us, for most of us, our boss is like a person that maybe has more experience or whatever. And for you, your boss is actually just the earth, I guess, the planet,
yes.
that kind of a nature that tells you what's going to be happening this year, what's going to be happening this harvest. That's cool.
Yes.
And so you were saying, so your parents have also been farmers, your grandparents as well.
Yes.
You come from so many generations of farming.
Yes.
And I assume that a lot of people in this area have as well. When you went to school and decided to study agronomy and keep going in this family tradition, were you one of the few young farmers still motivated, so to speak, or do you think that young farmers are still quite eager to be in agriculture?
Well, I see, at least in this area, most of the young people don't want to be at the farm and working here because they think that it's a hard work and like it's easier to be in an office and that kind of things. So it's difficult because you see that a lot of farmers that have 70 years and have been all their lives at the fields and working now have to sell their farms. But for that is that I'm here and I'm on social media to show all the things and that it's an amazing work, that it's hard but can be hard other works, and at least in this work you can find like all the work. No sé cómo decirlo.
No pasa nada, ¿no?
Merece la pena. Worthwhile.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all the work worthwhile. Sorry.
I think it's perfect to have a bit of mix of language anyway,
yes,
because at
sorry.
the end of the day
I forgot the word.
No problem. So it's much more worthwhile, the results and everything, and seeing all of the work that goes into it. And so also, you said that a lot of the young people didn't want to stay in agriculture or maybe looking at other kind of jobs. Why do you think that is? Is it mainly because of like climate change or politics, or like what's going on to make people unmotivated?
I think that it's a mix.
Okay.
It's like this is a work for all people. It's like the new generations want to be in other things.
Okay.
And also you see politics or see the news and it's like, I don't want to be agriculture. All are bad news and always you see like always have troubles and problems and things like that. And I think it's making a lot of damage for people to want to be here.
To work in this sector, for sure. And so your farm here well, you have a few different ones, but they're all in organic farming, right?
Yes.
What kind of inspired you or convinced you to move towards organic farming?
Well, it was something by myself because I don't have anyone that being in organic before. Well, my fathers have lemons in organic since the 90s, but that's the only thing. But when I finished the degree, I started with the farms of the family, and I decided to start in organic because I want to care the most I can the environment and the animals that we have here, and was like, well, the less that I can do is being organic. So for that reason, I start. And through the years, I have seen that it's possible, and when you start, it's more difficult, but with the years, it's easier. So for that.
Okay, amazing. So it's like the minimum for you now would be to be in organic because it seems natural, I guess, to be working with nature. And so you're also part of our regeneration program, and you're also moving towards regenerative farming as well. Is that like very different for you compared to organic farming? Is it a whole different mentality and approach, or how do you see that?
Well, it's so different from organic, but if you just stay with the things that the organics well, pardon. If you want to be organic, you have to do some things.
Yeah.
But as we make more things than the things that we needed, it's like we are in the middle of the way from organic to regenerative.
Okay.
So I think that it's not so difficult because we are on that way from before than we beginning. But I didn't remember the question.
I think that the question, you answered it perfectly.
Okay.
The idea is like, how is it different and stuff? And you're saying that basically you guys weren't like just strict organic. You guys were already doing some regenerative stuff. So it wasn't like a completely groundbreaking new thing. And a lot of people think that like organic agriculture is a list of things that you can't do, right?
Yes.
Like you can't use pesticides, you can't use chemicals, and that's kind of it. And then regenerative farming is more like, okay, what can we do proactively to kind of restore or make sure that our ecosystems are protected? But I guess some people also see organic as in that same way as well, closer to regenerative, right? Is that your case?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I want to say. Yeah. You say it good.
So like organic was already kind of regenerative for you guys.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Super cool. And I forgot to ask you a question before as well, that when we were talking about young farmers and the fact that there was some issues in like politics or loads of different things, if you were able to, I don't know, hypothetically speak to the president of the European Commission and maybe ask for a few things or just give your opinion on what's going on, what would you say to her as like, or him? I don't know if it's a man.
I will tell her, for example, that we need support. That it's not, it can be possible that you both fruit from South America or South America or from Morocco or places from out of Europe and buy it with a less price than here, because they can make there all the things. They can use all the products. They don't pay or pay so little, so little to their workers, and we can't compete with us. And that can be possible. They have to support us. They have to make things that this can be a work that all the people want to be here, or I don't know, just make that agriculture to be in the first, because in Spain it's one of the most important works, and we don't see that.
Yeah, put it back like in the front lines. I often find that like farmers, obviously they're not that present in society and like news and stuff. You don't see them, but as you say, it's such an important sector, and it's like what everybody survives, like everybody survives thanks to farmers at the end of the day. It's the food that we eat and stuff. So yeah, I think that's a good thing.
And in Spain we have sun all the year round, and we had a good temperature for that, and we can make a good agriculture. We can be the best because the people is good. The farmers want to work, and I think that we can make it, but we need the support.
Yeah, of course. And also it doesn't make sense anyways for politicians and governments to be saying, okay, our farmers here in Europe, like, you have to do this, you have to follow these regulations, you have to like have all of these norms, but then we're not going to buy your product, we're actually going to buy these products that come from other countries that don't have these same things applied, right? I think that makes total sense.
I can comprehend that. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
not make sense.
Yeah. And so now you also have like this direct sales channel, and you're kind of closer to the consumers and stuff. Do you think that that's an interesting tool for farmers, like to be more connected to their consumers, to have a direct sales channel?
Yes, I think that this kind of sales have changed the mind of the consumers. It's like they know where the fruits comes, they know the farmers, they know the farm, they know what are we doing with their fruits. And I think that people is like every time is like knowing more about this, and they are worried more about where the fruit comes. So I think that it's so important this way.
Yeah. And being connected, so like obviously you guys have great social media channels and stuff, and you guys tell the stories of what's happening. I think it's so nice to romanticize in that way farming, and for people to fall in love with like being in the countryside, being in the fields again. It's something that you obviously do every day, but a lot of like consumers who just buy in supermarkets and in the cities are super disconnected.
And we tell to all the consumers that come here, see the farm, touch the trees, and feel it. And I know that this is a changing mind.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. That's so inspiring. And then back to regenerative farming as well, because it's such an interesting topic that we just love to talk about around here. What kind of practices have you been like putting in place on your farm and stuff lately, just to have some news?
We have the weeds, we have the sheep that we have around the farm. We reduce the consume of water. We are making some houses for the animals, for the insects.
Like insect hotels and that type of stuff. That's so cute.
We're making that kind of things, and for us the most important thing that is to have a good soil. We are trying it with the regenerative.
Yeah, amazing. And I don't know if you sometimes speak to farmers who are in conventional and stuff. What would you say to farmers who kind of like, oh, I want to take better care of my soil, or I want to be more conscious of the environment and stuff, but I'm not too sure what to do, I'm not convinced about regenerative agriculture? What would you say to those farmers who are kind of like on the edge?
Yes, I will tell them that contact with someone that are in this world. With me, for example, or with other farmers, because I know they are gonna help them. And they will see that it's not as difficult as we think before that we start with this. It's more easy, really. So I will tell that, and that make it, because a lot of farmers are thinking about putting all their farms in organic or in regenerative, and they don't make it. I will tell them that make it.
You will make it.
Do it.
You'll make it. That's so cool. And also, I guess it's so true that if you see someone who's like, it's not some farm person that you don't know, if it's like your neighbor who's doing regenerative practices and getting into regenerative farming, and you see that it's working for them, then it's like, oh great, I might try that too.
Right? That's important. And that happens, because here happened. So
did that happen to you?
Yes.
Okay. Or are you the neighbor that inspires others, or were you already inspired by somebody else?
No, but we have neighbors that they were in conventional and now they are organic.
Okay, that's so cool. Well done. Cool. Well, I think that we can take a little break now. It was so nice to talk to you, and it's so nice to be here to be able to do it.
Thank you so
much.
The
sun shining in our face, and it's so lovely. So thanks for inviting us to your lovely farm.
No, thank you for coming and see your farms.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.